for coming tonight, and appreciate everyone here. But it's a great night. I just received the call from Steve Earhart, the executive director of the Liberty Bowl, and he offered it was formality, but offered us the opportunity to play, and on behalf of the University of Missouri and the Missouri Tigers, I accepted to play on December 31st against Oklahoma State Cowboys. This has been a special year. Liberty Bowl had targeted us from the start. This is the 40th year anniversary of when the Mizzou team in 1978 took on the LSU Tigers and won 20-15. It's a close destination for friends and family, and I think we can have a great crowd there. I encourage people to go online, MizzouTigers.com, or call 1-800-CAT-PAWS and get your tickets. It'll be a fun time. We're going to be representing the SEC against the Big 12, and then last time that Mizzou Tigers played against Oklahoma State was in the Cotton Bowl in 14, and we won 41-31. Expect it to be a great game, and excited about it, and I'll turn it over to Coach Odom.
Yeah, thanks for being here tonight, and for our student athletes, and especially our seniors. I'm excited to have a chance to lead them one more time in this bowl game. They mean a tremendous amount to me. The things that they've done for this program and our university, they'll live with the mark that they left forever, and I appreciate that greatly. It's going to be a great experience for us in Memphis. You look at the Liberty Bowl. This is the 60th annual Liberty Bowl, and over the history of that, it's I think the 7th oldest bowl game in college football. Archie Manning's played in the game, Bo Jackson, Doug Flutie, just to name some. I was living there for 3.5 years, so I know about the game firsthand. I know that the city of Memphis will welcome us, and you look at opportunities for your student athletes to have experiences and what they will take with them when they leave and go out into the real world. And I look forward to providing them not only between now and the time that we arrive in the city there, but once we get there, the experiences that they'll have that they'll take with them forever. And then you get into the opportunity for this team to play one more time together, which is exciting for me. We're playing our best football right now. We had a really good practice yesterday. We're going to continue to capture the momentum that we have, and there's going to be a balance of time that there is to work. And our guys know at this point they're mature enough that when it's time to go practice, we're going to go practice really well, and then we're going to have some fun as well. So I'm excited about having the opportunity to do it. It's a primetime game on December 31st at 2:45, and I know our guys will be excited to go play against a really good Oklahoma State team, and I've got a lot of respect for Coach Gundy and the job that he has done for a number of years.
All right, questions for Coach or Jim?
I guess for both of you, but maybe Jim more so, what was today like as far as just the uncertainty of not knowing what other bowls did you think you had a shot at? I know that the league assigns these technically, but how much input or role did you have?
Well, you're right. The SEC, gets input from the team, from the schools, and then tries to work with the bowls and create matchups and all of that. So it's I was tired of waiting. I wanted it to happen sooner rather than later, and obviously the Liberty Bowl is one that had targeted us, so I knew that was a strong possibility, and it wasn't a surprise when we got that assignment, but I think it's a good one for us. We're, as Barry said, we're playing great football. We're a couple snaps away from being 10-2. I think we're a fun team, and I think the Liberty Bowl targeted us early on.
Barry, I just want to ask you about last year's bowl game, and now we have this year's bowl game. Can you and your team feed off what happened in last year's bowl game, or is that not really how it mentally, psychologically works?
Well, I think you always learn from your experiences. I've talked about that a number of times, and the things that I learned that we need to do moving forward into this time that's out of season, but also the things that we need to do to go play our best. And we had a lot of moving parts last year going into that game, and that were different for us. And there's more stability this year. I think we've got an opportunity on the way that we are playing team football together. I'm excited about this group going and doing it one more time. And I know we're going to practice really well on the opportunities that we have, but also we understand, every team's different. And this team, I think more than any that I've been around, understands the importance of preparing the right way, because they know that those habits on the way that you practice, they show up on game day every time. And they're running, and it's a players-led group right now, and that's awesome because we've got great leadership. And I'm not saying we've arrived and we've got a long ways to go, and I understand that, but we're in a good spot, and our guys are competitive, and they're going to go give everything they got together one more time.
Sorry, Coach, we had to turn it on first. Drew said after the Arkansas game that he will be playing in this bowl game. And so what does it mean to have him just come back and play?
I think we need to really take a step back in college sports and understand when you're a student athlete and you have a chance to play in a game. Man, that ought to mean something. You get a chance. The 2018 team will never be the same. I mean, it's not ever. This group will never be together again. Drew has made a lot of really mature decisions over the course of his time here, and he cares a lot about this football team. He's got friends that every day they go out and they work. The offensive line, the things that they do day in and day out to give ourselves a chance offensively. Our locker room's in really good shape. They care about each other. So I'm excited that Drew's going to play, but I would I'd venture to guess that we're going to have 19 seniors that are ready to go play their best game, being their last one.
Jerry, I know you haven't probably done much scouting at Oklahoma State, but you obviously overlap with Mike Gundy a lot from the Big 12 days. Just generally speaking, what can you expect out of a Mike Gundy coach team?
Well, I watched 2 games after we got the announcement, so I've seen a little bit of them. They're explosive on offense, and they're well coached. He's done it at a high level for a long time, and I know he'll have them ready to go play. They do looks right now getting into it. Multiple looks on defense. They're athletic. I know how they've recruited, and then offensively they got skill across the board. There'll be plenty of challenges for us to be able to go play our best.
Jim, just big picture, in the time that you've been here to see the football program go from where it was when you started to where it's at now, what has that process been like, and for you, what's it like to go to a second bowl game in a row?
Obviously, postseason is the goal of any year, but I think where it's just a tremendous. I think the coach deserves a tremendous amount of accolades for what he's done with the program and the coaches and the student athletes. The seniors, this group has been through a lot, and they really have. As I continued to say last year when we were 1-5, the locker room was still there, and they proved it by winning the next 6 straight games. I think they took off this year and had a few blips in there, but to be 2 snaps away from being 10-2 we're a dang good football team, and I think it's a tribute to Barry and the coaches that have really dedicated a lot of time, but also to the seniors of this team. And it's really important for us to continue that trajectory. And when I came, Barry talked about facilities, and we talked about that. So the south end zone is part of that, and upgrading our fields and continuing to build the program that not only the people in Missouri can be proud of, and the university overall, but around the country that I enjoy, and I wear my gear on planes, and I get comments all the time. And I had a comment I was down in Atlanta, and I was down at Devin West was inducted as a legend, and a Georgia fan came up, and I'm going, okay, what's going to happen? He called me coach. He gave me that, respect. But he said, Coach, you guys are a dang good football team. He said, if you were still in the Big 12, you'd be in the championship game today. And I thought that said a lot to of respect for the job that Coach has done, his staff and our team, and I think the people of this conference, the SEC, appreciate what Missouri brings to the table. So I think it's continuing to grow. I'm excited about that.
Barry, more of just like a football note, do you have any updates on if players like Albert O and Adam Sparks will be able to play in the game?
They didn't. Adam was limited yesterday on his practice. Did very little. Albert did not practice. As we get closer here, our guys are going to, they've got to finish up the right way academically, and they're running and lifting a couple times here over the next few days. We'll practice this next weekend, and I'll have another injury report once we get closer to. We had practice one of a few that we're going to have before a bowl game. So as we get closer, we'll have a better understanding of who will be available.
Barry, you mentioned a little bit of the history of the stadium and the game. It wasn't the Liberty Bowl game itself, but you played in that stadium in 1999. What do you remember about that? And is there anything you can impart about playing in that historic place that you can tell your guys?
Well, it's a unique environment, and one that will attract a lot of fans. I know that, and so will Oklahoma State. And then I coached there for 3 years, so spent a lot of time there, and over my years, and happy to be back. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to make sure our guys have fun, and then we're also, like I mentioned earlier, we'll get down to work, and we get closer to game time. We'll get in game mode and be ready to go play our best. But the Liberty Bowl, if you look at the folks that have played in that over the years, it is historic. This being the 60th annual, and you look at the work that AutoZone and FedEx and really Bass Pro Shops on the things that they do to provide the experience for our kids. I'm grateful to be where we are.
For either one, obviously geographically this is probably a really nice bowl game situation for you guys. So are you really hoping that fans will really show up for this one, considering that it's not as far away as some of the other projected bowl games that you were looking at?
Yeah, when it was announced at the basketball game, I had folks come up and said thank you. We're driving there, and I think we really need to have a great showing. It's important for the bowls to see that Mizzou shows up for postseason. That's part of the decisions as bowls make decisions on who they would like to see, and obviously that was one of the reasons the Liberty Bowl really wanted us to come, because I think we can bring a great contingent there and have a good economic impact in the city of Memphis when it's a slow time.
Hey, Coach, you and the staff, is it a concern when you had won your 4 previous games and you've been playing what you said, good football, to carry over that momentum?
Jim Holder, you're back. I see you. I hear you more than I see you. No, it's not a concern. Because you can worry about. I can lay awake tonight and worry about everything. But the thing that I do know, when it's time for these guys to go compete, and it's time for them to prepare the right way, they're going to do it. And everything that I've put out in front of them, they've attacked it. And so that part of it, you want to get them in position and provide a roadmap for them to be able to go get done what we need to play our best that last game. But I know what I've got in the locker room. They're going to go give everything they've got to play really well.
There's been much debate on Twitter today, so I want to get your opinion, Coach Odom. What is the best barbecue in Memphis?
I was going to say it's in Kansas City, but you said in Memphis. I'm learning to answer that the right way. There's a lot of really good barbecue, and I've got to be careful in what I say, because I've got to go live there now for another week, and I know a lot of the folks there. So I'm going to turn that over to Jonathan Johnson, and he's from Memphis and Beatty, and they can give their 2 cents on what they think.
Barry, your nephew's a tight end for Oklahoma State. Just curious if there's any family talk about that. Is it exciting for you, Brian, to coach against your nephew, or because the team has to win, it's a little bit of a tough thing?
You look at, there will be a lot of storylines on this one for a number of reasons. My oldest son is a tight end for them, and he's in his 2nd year there. And my older brother's an instigator in a lot of ways, and always has been. It'll be interesting, and then the next 28 and a half days will be interesting to see how that plays out.
Got time for a few more, anybody?
Jim, when you talk about selling tickets, was there any sense that that was a reason you may not have gotten one of the farther away bowls like the Gator Bowl?
No, nothing was said, but it's just, I just know from history and being around a few years that it's important for the Bulls to see that there's a great fan base, and so I think this is a really unique and good opportunity for us to really show what Mizzou can do.